Are the Atlanta Falcons living in a fantasy world? Or is there a hidden genius to their seemingly outrageous demands for Kirk Cousins? For weeks, the whispers have grown louder, evolving into full-blown rumors across the NFL landscape. Atlanta, it seems, is still keen on offloading quarterback Kirk Cousins. But what started as a quiet off-season ambition has now morphed into a high-stakes poker game, where the Falcons are holding an incredibly strong, perhaps even unrealistic, hand. As injuries plague starting quarterbacks across the league, Atlanta believes this is their moment to strike, to maximize their leverage and extract a king's ransom for a player who, just months ago, they couldn't give away. But are any teams truly willing to meet their price? Or are the Falcons destined to keep Cousins on the bench, a valuable asset no one is willing to pay for? The story of Kirk Cousins in Atlanta has been a curious one from the start. After a splashy free agency signing that brought him to the Peach State, the initial excitement quickly gave way to speculation. The Falcons, it was reported, had quietly explored trade options for Cousins during the offseason, testing the waters to see if another franchise might be interested in taking on a substantial contract. Those attempts, however, proved fruitless. The market simply wasn't there, with other quarterback options more readily available and financially palatable. But the NFL is a league of constant flux, a brutal arena where fortunes can turn on a single snap, or in this case, a few unfortunate injuries. Now, with several starting signal callers sidelined across the league, the Falcons sense opportunity, a moment to re-enter the trade discussions with renewed vigor and, crucially, a far more aggressive set of demands. They are reportedly determined to squeeze every last drop of value from the situation, believing that desperation will drive a contender to their doorstep. The core of Atlanta's audacious trade strategy revolves around one non-negotiable condition. Any team interested in acquiring Kirk Cousins must be prepared to absorb his entire remaining guaranteed salary for the current season. This is a small ask. As we stand, entering week 3 of the season, Cousins still has a hefty $24.44 million guaranteed left on his contract. While this figure does decrease by $1.53 million each week, meaning a team waiting until mid-October could potentially acquire him for less than $17 million, the initial sticker shock is undeniable. For a team to take on such a significant financial burden, especially for a player who would likely be a stopgap solution, it speaks volumes about the perceived desperation the Falcons are banking on. This isn't just about talent. It's about a massive financial commitment that could hamstring a team's cap space for the foreseeable future, making it a truly challenging proposition for any general manager to justify. Beyond the immediate financial hit for this season, Cousins' contract structure presents further complexities that make him a difficult piece to move. According to SpotTrack, he carries a substantial $40 million cap hit in 2025. While there's a potential out for a team that rosters him in 2026, designating him as a post-June first release could generate a $25 million cap saving. However, this comes at a steep price. A dead cap hit of $32.5 million in 2026 and another $12.5 million in 2027. This isn't just a short-term rental. Acquiring Cousins means inheriting a financial legacy that extends well beyond the current season. Any team considering a trade isn't just buying a quarterback. They're buying into a multi-year financial entanglement that requires careful planning and a willingness to absorb significant future cap implications. This intricate web of guarantees and dead cap figures acts as a formidable barrier, making even the most desperate teams think twice before engaging in serious trade talks. So, with these steep demands and contractual hurdles, who are the potential suitors, and why are they seemingly unwilling to bite? Let's turn our attention first to the Cincinnati Bengals, a team that might, on the surface, appear to be in the market for a quarterback given certain injury scenarios. However, the Bengals seem entirely content with their current backup, Jake Browning. The coaching staff in Cincinnati holds Browning in high regard, viewing him as one of the league's premier backup quarterbacks, fully capable of stepping in and performing as a starter for several weeks if needed. His previous stint as a starter, where he posted a respectable 3-3 record, clearly instilled confidence within the organization. For the Bengals, the calculus is simple. They have a reliable, proven backup who fits their system and their budget. Why would they sacrifice valuable draft capital and take on the enormous financial burden of Kirk Cousins when they already have a player they believe can get the job done? The answer, unequivocally, is that they wouldn't. Their commitment to Browning effectively closes the door on any potential trade discussions with Atlanta. Then there are the Minnesota Vikings, a franchise with a history with Cousins, and one that might seem like a natural fit given the current quarterback injury landscape. However, the Vikings appear equally disinclined to pursue another viable starter. Their focus remains squarely on their young quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. While the 22-year-old has admittedly faced struggles in his first two professional outings, the coaching staff is far from giving up on him. They view McCarthy as their long-term future, and his current injury is expected to keep him sidelined for only a few weeks. This isn't a season-ending setback that would force them to panic and scour the market for an immediate replacement. The Vikings are committed to McCarthy's development, understanding that growing pains are a natural part of a young quarterback's journey in the NFL. Bringing in Cousins, with his contract and the draft capital required, would not only be a costly move, but also send a confusing message about their faith in McCarthy. Therefore, the Vikings, like the Bengals, are simply not in the market for what the Falcons are selling. Given these converging circumstances, Atlanta's sky-high demands, the complex financial ramifications of Cousins' contract, and the clear disinterest from the most logical potential trade partners, the path forward becomes starkly clear. It is highly improbable, bordering on impossible, that the Atlanta Falcons will find a trade partner willing to sacrifice quality draft capital, particularly a second-day pick, and assume the entirety of Kirk Cousins' remaining guaranteed salary. The market simply isn't there for such a package. What this ultimately means for the Falcons, and for Cousins himself, is that the trade saga is effectively over. Kirk Cousins will remain in Atlanta, not as a starting quarterback, but as a high-priced backup for the foreseeable future. The Falcons' gamble on maximizing leverage appears to have fallen flat, leaving them with an asset they couldn't move and a roster decision that will continue to spark debate among the fan base. So, what does this all mean for the Atlanta Falcons moving forward? It means the quarterback room, for now, remains as it is, with Cousins providing veteran depth behind the starter. It's a testament to the brutal realities of NFL contracts and the delicate balance between perceived value and market demand. While the Falcons tried to play hardball, the rest of the league simply wasn't willing to pay their price. What do you make of the Falcons' trade demands? Do you think they were right to aim so high, or did they misread the market entirely? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth analysis of your Atlanta Falcons.